Hello everyone, welcome to the Excel Level 1 video. In this video, you will learn all the basics that you need to get started in Excel. I'm hoping that after this video, you should be able to create an Excel workbook just like this screenshot here. So let's get started. Let's launch Excel. I'm on Windows 11 and using the latest version of Excel from Office 365, which is locally installed on my computer. You should be able to follow along with the version of Excel you have. Please share in the comment section below which version of Excel you are using and if you are able to follow along. So let's click on the start icon and then click on the Excel icon. This brings up Excel Home tab. Here we have the option to create a new blank workbook. There are templates and option for more templates. Then we have the tab for recently opened Excel workbooks. And then we have the tab for pinned. In this tab, in the pin tab, we can click on the workbooks and click the pin icon. And that will show up if we go back in our pin, so we can see this is the workbook we just pinned. Basically, you pin the Excel workbooks you think you will be most frequently using. I'm going to unpin it from here, and then we have the tab share with me. This is the tab where those files will be listed which have been shared with you. On the left, below the home tab, we have the new. In the new tab, again we have the blank workbook option and the templates. We can also search templates online. So what are templates? Templates allow you to use pre-designed workbooks to jumpstart your Excel project. You can choose the one which best fits your need. You can also search for online templates. And then on the left we also have the open tab. In the open tab we get few options to open the existing workbooks from different location from the PC. We can browse as well as from the OneDrive if you have it. You can search for the workbooks in the folders as well as there is an option for recovering unsaved workbooks. So let's go back to our home tab and click on the blank workbook. So this brings up the blank workbook for us. And you might be asking, what is a workbook? A workbook, you can think of it as a binder. In our real life, we use binder to organize different papers together in one collection. And same way in Excel, the workbook is just a collection of different worksheets. In this case, we just have one worksheet now, but you can add many more worksheets. So that's really a workbook. It's just a collection of different worksheets. Let's quickly understand the areas, different areas in the Excel. At the very top left, we have the quick access toolbar. And if I click on the drop down here, you can see what options I already have on my quick access toolbar. We have automatically save option there. We have the email, undo and redo. You can add more commands by clicking on the more commands also, or you can add from this list already available there. Let's click on the save, so you can see the save is added to the quick access toolbar, and you can remove the item which is there. Let's remove the email. So you can see you can modify or customize your quick access toolbar like this. Next to the quick access toolbar, we have the title bar, which displays the name of the workbook file. My name is book 1, and right now it's telling us you can choose a location on the OneDrive, or you can even click drop down and pick a different location. Next to the title, we have the search box. So search box is a very cool and handy feature. Let's say you want to do something but you don't remember the navigation, how to navigate to that particular command. Let's say we want to insert a chart, and we don't know where the chart is, and you can just come here and you can start typing the command, for example charts, and it gives you the option action, and that you can select to immediately start working on the action you wanted to work on. Below the title bar we have the menu bar, and it is also sometimes referred as tab bar because it has different tabs on it. And the default tab is home tab. Whenever you open Excel or create a new workbook, your default tab is the home, which is indicated by the underline. And then we also have the file menu. It is the only menu option which does not have a group of commands. So see, each tab has a different group of commands, and these groups are called as the ribbon. Each tab have a different set of ribbon based on the context you are working on. So that's your ribbon. Below the ribbon area we have box. It's called name box. It basically tells you which cell you are currently editing. So in our case we are, for example, right now in column G and row 6, so it's telling us we are in cell G6. Next to the name box we have the formula bar. Formula bar basically shows us the content of the cell. It helps us also create formulas as well as edit the contents of the cell that we are working on. Below the formula bar then we have columns labeled with alphabets A, B, C all the way to X, F, D, and then we have rows which are horizontal and they are labeled 1, 2, 3. There are about 16,384 columns and about 1,048,576 rows. So let me quickly show you a tip how you find what is the maximum number of columns in the Excel sheet. I'm going to press Control and press the right arrow key. This will take me to the very last column of the Excel, which is XFD. Here I'm gonna type a formula starting with the equal sign, and then I'm going to say column, and then the cell I am in, which is XFD1, and hit enter. So there you go. Here you can see that the maximum number of column is 16,384. So let's remove that and go back to the first cell by pressing Control Home together. So it brings up to the cell A1. Same way we can go to the last row of the sheet by pressing the Control down arrow, and this will take us to the last row, and you can see the last row is number is 1,048,576. Let's go back to the first cell by pressing Control Home. Then on the bottom left we have worksheet navigation. Right now it's disabled because we only have one worksheet. You can add more worksheet, and you will see that as soon as we start adding more worksheet, and this navigation bar will be enabled. You can see it just enabled. So you can navigate between different worksheets like that. Let's delete these worksheets. So I basically selected all of these and then click on the delete, including this one. So we are back to the sheet 1, and you just saw me how to add the worksheet is by clicking on the plus sign or the new sheet icon. Then on this right side we also have the horizontal scroll bar. It helps us scroll between the columns of the and see the other areas on the sheet. Basically it helps us look at the other columns. And then we have vertical scroll bar, which help us scroll up and down. And then we have the page view icons here for the normal page layout and the page break. And you can, if you click on the page layout, you can see what kind of the view would that be, and then the page breaks, clicking back on the normal view. At the bottom right, we have the zoom in and zoom out. It helps us basically zoom in on the content or zoom out. You can also zoom in, zoom out by clicking on the view tab and clicking on the zoom icon here, and you can also use a custom zoom. So I'm going to click on the 100% again, so zoom back. There you have it, a quick overview of different parts of the Excel workbook. Now let me quickly show you how to navigate among cells. So you already have seen that I can navigate by clicking on different cells, and as I navigate you can see the name box value changes whichever cell I am in. You can also navigate using the arrow keys on your keyboard, like right arrow, left arrow, up arrow, down arrow. You can use the tab key to move to the right, or you can press shift tab together to move back. You can also hit enter to move down in the same column, or you can press shift enter to go up. And we already have seen pressing control home takes us to the first cell of the Excel. Now let's start looking into how we can enter the data in the Excel. So you can basically select a cell by clicking on it and start typing. Let's say in this case I just clicked on cell A1 and start typing like hello world and hit enter, and it takes us to the next cell in the same column. Or you can press on the cell and go into the formula bar and type the value or change the value. Like I want to change the hello world to the hello Excel. And if you click on a cell which already has a cell value or cell content, and if you click and start typing, basically it overrides. This is going to override the contents of the cell. So if you don't want that to happen, what you can do is I'm going to undo it, and you can click on the formula bar, or you can double click on the cell and start editing. And the hotkey for editing the contents is also F2 in Windows. So you can either press F2, double click, or you can click the formula bar if you don't want to override and you just want to change the value of the cell. You also notice that when I type a value which is a very large value, let's say this is a pretty large value, this is not fitting, it seems like it is overflowing into the column B. It's not like that. And if I start typing something in the column B, let's say 1 2 3 4, you see that the value in the cell A seems like has is truncated, but that's not the case. It's just hiding behind column B. So all you can do is click between the cell A and B header and either drag and then release the mouse. This will increase the column width, or you can also double click between the column header A and B, and that will also increase the column width. And same way you can adjust the row heights based on what you want, or you can double click it again to automatically adjust to the proper height. One more thing about the formula bar is you can basically write some formulas. And how do you start a formula? You basically click on the cell and you start typing with the equal sign and then the formula. So we're going to use a very simple formula like 3 plus 7. So basically this is saying, hey, add 3 and 7 and put the result in the cell we are currently in. So we can see that the cell B4 is showing us 10, but if we click on it, we see it still shows 10, but the formula bar shows us the actual value, which is actual formula, which is 3 plus 7. You can also use something like, let's say you have columns, let's say column A6 has 3, and then you have maybe column B, which is also, let's say, has 7, and in the C you want to put a formula of adding them. You can say equal sign, and you can say click on the cell, and it highlights which cell is that, A6 plus B6, and then you hit enter. So basically here, if you look at it, it's telling us add the contents of cell A6 with the contents of cell B6 and put it in the cell where we have the equal sign, which is in this case is C7. So let's remove all this and start entering data. I would like to start typing few values, and then I will show you a copy paste, because we to save time, well, I can use copy paste. So country, then in this cell I have sales volume, and you can see the height is not right, revenue, profit, and the record date. So in order to save time, what I will do, I will copy paste the values which I already have. Let me show you. So I have these values I want to bring in, and there you can see that they are separated by tab. So Control A, Control C, or add it and copy, and then I'm going to click on this very top cell. It's going to override that one, and you can see that it brought up the values, and the column sales volume doesn't look that nice. It's not showing the full width, and then there are values in the record date which are not showing properly as well. So one other thing is, in Excel you can use the wrap text feature. For example, sales volume, if I click on the wrap text, you can see that it wraps the text on multiple lines, which is nice. But what if I want to have this sales volume just like on multiple lines, but if I increase the width of the column, you see the sales volume label changes, and this row height still is multiple line, but then the sales volume went back to single line. So what you can do is you can double click between sales and volume, and press Alt key and hit enter. So by pressing Alt enter, you can see that it has splitted the word or the heading into multiple lines. So that's really I want. So I want to keep that. I also want to insert a column between the profit and record date for profit margin. So what you can do is you can either select column E and right click and then say insert. You don't even have to select column, you can just right click on the heading and say insert, and there you go, it has inserted a new column between column D and F. So I'm going to name that profit margin, and I also want to basically split it in multiple lines. Alt enter, and then I want that to be like that. Now in the profit margin, I want to use a formula to calculate the profit percentage. So I will start with the equal sign, and the formula is profit divided by the revenue. So what I'm saying here, whatever the contents of cell D2 are divided by cell C2, and there we go, you can see that it has calculated the percentage of the profit. Now I can go ahead and do the same thing in other columns, in other cells of this these rows, but that would be tedious. So Excel has something very nice or cool. You can click on this little square box, and by holding down and you drag and release it, it does the apply the same formula to the other rows. And you don't even have to click and drag down. You can, let's redo, undo it, and then you can just double click on it as well. It does the same thing. So it basically applies the same formula to each row, and you can verify that by clicking on each cell and verifying the formula in the formula bar, or double clicking and see that which cells are involved in this formula calculation. So there we go. So let's increase the record date. Actually, I really don't want record date, so let me remove before I remove the record date, let me show you one thing about formatting the dates. So let's say these are the dates and we want to format them differently. So you can click on select the range. Now I use the word range. Range is basically, normally we are working in one cell, but if you want to work on multiple cells together, you can select those cells together by clicking, and then without releasing the mouse, just keep dragging, and then it's select that selection, and there you go. That's the range we have selected. And then we will apply format, like we can say short date, which it is already in, or long date, and you can see that it's a different date format. I don't want the record date column in my data, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to select the header of the column and then right click and say just delete. So there we go. Next, what we want is I want to total the sales, and so I'm going to type in the total here, and then I want to add these things together. One way of doing that is just saying equal sign and then saying this plus this plus this. So for a small number of values this might be okay, but this seems like pretty tedious. Excel has something very nice feature that is called AutoSum, which is right here on the home tab in the editing area with the sum, or you can click on the formulas and click on the AutoSum. You can pick any one of these. I'm going to click on this AutoSum, which is basically the same, and when I do that, it says shows us the formula it's going to apply, which is sum, and shows us the range, which in this case is B2 B7, which is basically saying the beginning of this range is B2 and the end of the range is B7. If I hit enter, there you go, it has applied the total. Now I want to do the same thing for the revenue, but instead of just going through the AutoSum number again, I can just click on the formula which I just used, and I can click on this square icon and drag whichever cell I want to apply, and there you go. And you can see that this one is the sum of the revenue, and this one is the sum of the profits. Now I also want to do some average, so let's utilize another function, which is average. And here again, instead of using a formula like average, like saying or adding them together and dividing by the number of the entries, we can click on the drop down here or in the formula bar. So this time I'm going to pick from the formula bars the average, and again this time it picks a range. But in this range you can see that it has picked up the total column too. I don't want that, or so instead of that you can just click and select the range you want for your formula and then hit enter. So there we go, and we do the same thing and apply it to the other columns. There we go. Now this looks pretty cool. This is the data we want, but now let's start formatting it. It doesn't look really nice. What I want to do is first thing first, I can see that these headers, I want to apply a different style. So I can click on a header and go into the home tab and start working on that cell by either by applying a background fill color or the font or the font color, and I can do that, or I can click on the cell styles here and then pick up whatever style I want, or heading, whichever I want. But since I want to do this for all the headings, it would be much nice if I just do on all of them together. So then what you can do is you can just select that range and apply the formatting you want. But in my case, I want to apply a table style. I want to show you how you can style it as a table. So let me select this range of this table. I'm excluding total and average. I want to do that later. So I'm going to click on the format as a table. So clicking on this, and here you have option light, medium, dark, and new table styles. I'm going to pick this green table style, and it says my table has header. Yep. Okay. What it did, it applied the table style and took me to the table design tab. In the table design tab, you can see it has also the filter button option, which we can see here, filter icons. I'm going to uncheck that one. So there we go. We have applied those styles to the table. You can see there are nice colors, light colors between the rows. I also want to center these headings, so I'm going to go onto the home tab, and in the alignment I want to center the text in those headings, so I'm going to click on the center. You can see it move. I also want the headings to be vertically centered, so I'm going to click on this middle align center. There we go. It has brought it up to the middle alignment. Next, what I want to do is, since this is a sale volume, it's a numeric value, I want to apply the number formatting on it. So I'm going to select all these values and then click on this number format, and I'm going to say number, and there we go. It has nicely formatted these as number. But I also want to show the thousand separator, so I'm going to click on the comma style. There we go. Next, on the revenue, and I want to apply the formatting for more of a dollar sign and that one. So in order to show you something interesting, so because when you click on this one, you can see currency and accounting, they both look similar, but in order to show the difference, let's apply first the accounting to one of these cells. So let's say it's accounting. So you can see in the accounting, when I applied it, there is a gap between the dollar sign and the actual numeric value. So that's not what I want. I want the dollar sign next to the number. So instead of accounting, I'm going to choose the currency. So there we go. It shows us the currency sign along with the number. Now I want to apply the same format to the profit. So I can do that by another cool feature of Excel, which is the format painter. So I'm going to click this cell which has my formatting. In this case, it is cell C2. Click on the format painter, and then on my target cells, I'm going to select all those cells which I want the same formatting to be applied. As soon as I did that, you can see the numbers are not displayed correctly. This is because once we applied the dollar sign, the width of the column is not enough. So all you can do is double click between column D and E headers and adjust the width of that column. Now our table start looking pretty decent. I also want to apply the same color and background color to the total and average text. So I'm going to use the same format painter and apply it to the total and average. Same way I want to do that for the, I'm going to do this for the and as soon as I did that, it has really messed up over formatting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly apply the formatting we had for these cells, which was currency and currency. There we go. So our cell starts looking pretty good. I also want to apply some sort of borders. Actually, let's do this one. Let's apply a percent format on the profit margin. So I'm going to select these columns and I'm going to click on the percent, and then I'm going to increase the decimal sign digits here. There we go. So that's how you apply the percent format. I want to just apply this format to these blank columns so they just table looks nice rounded. Now this looks good, but I also want to apply some sort of the lines around these cells. So here I'm going to click on the border and pick up there are a whole bunch of options like line colors, line styles. In my case, I just want to apply all the borders, so I did apply that one. So then I want to give this table a header, so I'm going to right click on the first row and then say insert, and then in the first row I'm going to say the sales by country. Now I want to make this table header to go across the width of the table. So I'm going to select cell A, B, C, D, E for the first row, and then I'm going to click on this icon which says merge and center. So this has merged that cell into one, and then it centered it. I also want to apply some styling to this one, so let's see what we can do. We can do cell styles, and cell, yeah, this is what we want. And then next what I want to do is we have applied all the styling. Next let's start inserting a chart here. So I'm going to click on this one and drag it down. So notice how I select this whole selection. So I'm clicking on the first cell, and then without releasing the mouse I drag it down, and when my all selection is selected, and I can see that there is our filled rectangle, means a square at that one. But as soon as I mouse hover over the corners or the boundaries of this selection, my cursor style changes from a plus sign to cross here. So when it does that, what you can do, you can click, and without releasing you can drag and to a new location. So over, you can see over we have moved this table to a different location now. That gives us the ability to insert some other cool stuff here, and which we are going to do. So I'm going to select on the country column and the sales column values, and then I'm going to click on the insert chart here in the insert tab, and you can see the ribbon has changed. And then I can click on different available charts. Let's see what it is recommending. So it is recommending some like bar chart, map, pie, horizontal bar chart. I want to apply a map, filled map. Let's see. So I click that one and click OK, and that bring up a nice looking chart. Let's resize it so we can see things together. So this looks good. You can also change the styles, background or the fill style. I think I like what I have here. You can also see that it does this by different, but I like this one. So, and then you can right click on it and select data. What I want to do is basically, what I'm doing is I want to change the color, different colors for different countries. So I right click, and then I am clicking on the select data, and in the legend entries I'm going to click on add it, and here instead of saying color by numeric values, I'm going to say color by secondary category names. Click OK, and OK once more. There you go. It shows us a nice looking different colors for different countries, and when you hover over each selection or shaded color, you can see which point or the volume point we are looking at. You can change the title of the chart. We can say map of, alright, sales by country map. Alright, we have a nice looking chart. The one cool thing about Excel is if you change anything, any value, for example, let's see if I change like this one to maybe 68,000, right? and you can see it automatically recalculates everything. You don't have to go and edit each cell independently. You can just add the values or edit the values, and all those changes are applied wherever those formulas are. Let's roll back. Now you can see that this dotted line, because we initially had clicked the page break view, it's showing us that when we will print, this is how it's gonna look. So let's quickly see. If I click on the file and then click on the print and show print preview, so you can see this is how it's going to look. This is nice, but I want to add a couple more charts here. So in order for me to do that, I need to have some little bit more space, or my chart will be showing on multiple pages. So let's just first insert a chart and then solve that problem. So let's say I want to select this selection again, click on the insert. I want to go and add a pie chart and click on it, and it brings up a nice looking pie chart. I want to have some gap here, and I also want to add the data values or data labels. So right click and then say add data labels. So you can see those values are added. You can see here you can pick different styling on the background, whichever best serves your need. You can do this, or you can do this. Which one is better? I think this one. You can also click drop down. I think this is cool. All right, let's pick that one. So now we have that. I also want to add another chart here. So again, I'm selecting this one and clicking on insert, and then clicking on the recommended charts. And I want a bar graph, but I want a horizontal bar graph. So I click on that one. Let me undo that and readjust these sizes. Okay, this looks good. Let's adjust the size. There's too much white space there. All right. So this looks nice. Yeah. And this. Okay. So this looks nice. Now let's see how it looks if we want to do a print. So file, print, and show print preview. So you can see that since my page width is not enough, it is truncating and moving the rest to the next page. That doesn't look good. So there are a few ways you can fix it. You can try to play with the margins, use some narrow margins, but it seems like it's still not fixing that one. And then you can change the orientation of your page. So instead of portrait orientation, let's see if we can do landscape, and seems like that does fix it. Along with that, I'm going to use the narrow margins, and that brings up that sort of fix it. So I'm gonna keep that one. And the other way of fixing that one could be, you can go into the page layout tab here and adjust the margin orientation if you don't want to go to the print page. Behind the scene here, you can see there is still some page break which is overlapping. So I'm going to quickly adjust the some of these cells, and for example in country. So if I do adjust it, it gives us some nice room there. So not this much. So now you can see that if I go and say file, print, and click on the print preview, nice looking sort of a chart or dashboard presentation is there. So this is how you create basically a table, use some formulas, use like equal signs and calculate the percentage, or use some provided formulas by the Excel like sum or average. applying formatting, individual cell formatting, or the table formatting, columns, moving the ranges, moving into different parts of the screen, creating a map chart. So now, since we have done it, we have not saved it, so we better save it. The other way to do there are a few ways to save it. You just click on the save icon here. It brings up and tell us where you want to save it, and you can give it a name, and you can say choose a location here, or you can also click on the file and click on the save, and then pick a location where you want to save it. So let me click browse, and then I have this Excel basics, and then I want to save it sales by country. I'm just going to override the one I already have saved it. So it's going to tell me, hey, do you want to overwrite it? Yes. And then there we go, it has saved. And when we saved, you can see that the name has changed from book 1 to sales by country, and saved to this PC. It's also showing us that. So now last thing is, let's try to print. So I'm going to click on the print, and here this looks good. You can print to the printer, or you can also do to print to a PDF just to look at it. So let's do that, print, and I'm going to save it in the Excel basic 1 PDF, and it's gonna say, hey, you have it already, so do you want to replace? Yes. And then once I do that, it basically overrides the one. And let me bring that up here for your view, so you can see this is what it looks like in that PDF version, which you can basically print again or send it to folks you want to share with. So that's basically a quick overview. The one other thing, if you want a quick help, you can click on the help and click on the help icon in this help tab. So sometimes it just gives this error. Just give it a few more tries. So in my case, for some reason it is doing it. I'm not sure why is that, but let's see if I do and do this. Okay, so for some reason it's not showing it now, but maybe let me quickly let's do one thing. So we have saved it. Let's look into the close. So you can click on the file and then click on the close icon, close button here. So this is how it closes, and if you want to open it again, you can go back to file and click on this in the recent tab. You can say that Excel file you recently used, you can click on it, bring it back. Or if let's say you have closed your Excel, the another way to bring it back is the location or the folder where you have saved it. You double click on that one, and that brings up that Excel workbook which you've been working on. Let's go back and see if the help icon shows up. Oh, there we go. So here, as you can see that in the help, you can type and start looking at, or even search for the help you are looking for, or getting started and all that. So that's it, folks. This is the quick tutorial that covers the basic features to get you started. Most importantly, please share your positive feedback. Click the like button, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so now, and also share with your family and friends. I will be posting videos and tutorials covering many interesting topics related to Excel, Word, other Microsoft products, as well as SQL, some data analysis, data engineering, data science, programming, also book reviews, and much more. Thanks, and see you in the next video. See you next time.